If this is working, this will be the first time. It says we're live.
Is it 208?
All right. First time that we're able to go YouTube live, so we're trying this. The main podcast will start in like, what, 2 minutes?
Yeah.
What time is it? What time you got?
5:58. This reminds me of the first time I've ever had a finger in my butthole. Actually, I think it was 2.
You know, when you say stuff like this, I mean, we can't get the time back. It's just gone.
Yeah. You know, it might have been 3.
Well, that was a self-exam, right?
I don't know.
Self-exam. You know, you should always find a friend, but there's never a friend.
Really find out who your friends are. We need a self-exam.
That is the truth. You know, I always like on October, when that comes up, it's breast cancer awareness. I'm not a doctor, I'll take a look.
Take a look. I'll stick a nose up there.
Yeah. Hey, can we see Steve say?
Let me see.
With the advertisements?
You can run on for a long time.
Yeah, you can see him.
Run
He's fine.
on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta put you down. 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 Don't tell that long-tongue liar. Don't tell that.
Are you watching the clock?
Tell the rambler, the gambler.
Let me know when it's 6 o'clock.
Tell him the God's gonna cut him down. Tell him the God's gonna cut him down. Well, my goodness gracious, let me tell you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on bended knee, talking to the man from Galilee who spoke to me in a way like City Hall. Gotta put my city on. Didn't fit the first time, but I've been growing into it. They don't get giddy on. It's supposed to say I pity on. I'm too busy nodding, rather not respond to kitty calls. Let me get you pity on. Watch what you sticking on, dog. What you sipping on, dog. What you worried about? I'd rather be penniless, making plenty sense. You living in a glass house, high rent, solo. I do it on my own, no YOLO. I never get cut, Kodo for sure though. Pardon me, my God, I'm calling on them all. Can't stall, I gotta tell them all. You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. 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 Don't tell that long-tongue liar. Don't tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him the God's gonna cut you down. Tell him the God's gonna cut you down.
Pete.
Pete.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, live from MJ's Walk to Ginger Park, this is the Moon Club podcast with AJ and MJ. The Moon Club will talk about anything under the moon. No subject will ever be taboo. This episode of the Moon Club podcast is brought to you by Realtor MJ Adelman, Bloomington, Almost premier realtor for the Jewett home selling team at Remax Rising, and I want to be your realtor, and I will out-hustle everybody all day, every day, and then double up on Sunday to prove it.
I heard that.
State of the moon. Tuesday. August 18th. 2020. Nothing to report.
There is no moon tonight.
Nothing.
Zero.
0%. That is one.
It's a black moon.
Yeah.
Black moons matter.
Hey.
Or is it a dark moon?
There's nothing.
There is no moon.
So,
It's crazy. That is brings to the holographic universe there. All of a sudden there's a glitch in the matrix. No moon
there's
tonight.
no moon tonight.
Sorry, peeps. Hopefully there'll be sun tomorrow. I think I seen a supernatural like that recently.
Supernatural what?
Like the episode television show.
I've never seen it.
You never seen it? I mean, I'm into that kind of dark
The
stuff.
moon is 0% illuminated. It's 0 days old. Nothing. Let's let this play out.
So, there's no moon tonight.
There's no moon.
All right, well, do we even bother doing a Moon Club podcast?
first time for everything, and this is the first time live on YouTube.
Yep, we're live on YouTube. That is true. I haven't even pulled it up on YouTube. Scott Nick was watching, by the way.
And
What's up, Scott Nick? Mindy
What's up,
Sue.
Scott Nick? Scott Nick,
Mindy Sue's my favorite.
you know, I did hear that, and it's been said, first time you guys are live on YouTube, there will be no damn moon.
That's right.
Bam!
That's right. That's what Nostradamus predicted back in like 1892 or something like that.
It was a long time ago. I think it was a little bit longer than that, but he might have like came back and predicted it.
I mean, he said it a completely different way, but
Yeah.
the way I heard it was
It sounded a lot.
the day that the Moon Club podcast goes live on YouTube, there will be no moon.
No moon. Bam.
No
And
moon.
here it is.
And
I
Nostradamus
think he
is
said-
right once again.
comes with nothing to our
He definitely didn't say that.
No, and that's usually your ending line, right? You don't want to shut it off this soon.
Weekly Jason Silva is called A World on Demand. Imagine the speed of thought. And this is a good one. Let's just take a minute and let Jason Silva do what Jason Silva does like nobody else can.
The speed of thought.
Upend the way of things.
Faster than
Nature
light.
transactions are being absolutely upended. The way in which supply meets demand is being utterly transformed. The nature of business, of the economy, of the marketplace is being flabbergasted by disruptive technologies. It feels like the rug is being pulled from underneath our feet. And today, my friends, we enter the age of the on-demand economy, right? The philosopher Kevin Kelly, who started Wired magazine, famously said, access is more important than ownership. And what do we mean by this? What we mean by this is that the magical devices in our pockets, these smartphones, these miracles of engineering, these supercomputers that we fit in the palms of our hand, these magic mirrors that we rub with love and longing, open up worlds of possibility in our fingertips. We literally live in a world where we can decide, I need a ride, I need a house, and it is served up on demand a la carte like an item from a menu in the restaurant. Try to imagine, as these technologies continue to advance exponentially, where this means we're heading. We're moving into a world that we build at the speed of thought. We're moving into our own imaginations. As we impregnate the world with sensors and AI, everything will be served up to us intelligently and intuitively without any effort on our behalf. Sometimes freedom means less choice. We won't have to waste cognitive energy making decisions. The world will simply emerge as we long for it intuitively. I feel so conscious. This is the magical realm we're heading. An on-demand revolution where our imagination will be served up by our technology. Miracles will be engendered. Divine engineering, my friends, is an inevitability of the human enterprise. Welcome to the on-demand world.
So there's definitely a lot to unpack there, and I'll probably watch that again later. But I definitely agree with one of the first things he said was that access is more important than ownership, right? That's the reason we have libraries from way back in the day, right?
Right.
We want to give people access to these books and these thoughts. They shouldn't have to buy it necessarily, right? But they need to have access to it so that they can have the ideas put into their head. And that's what the internet has given us now. He was talking about completely different. Well, not really. He's talking about the same idea, like this access that we have with our phones to like look up information and shit now, right?
Right.
I think what he's talking about is like pretty much everything is out there at your fingertips, and you not wasting cognitive energy, you know, thinking about other stuff and how to get it and where to get it, and the decisions for you. Like if I want to eat, boom, pull up, you know, where's the best place to eat within this area, and it's right there on your phone. So
Absolutely.
it takes the thinking out of it. One thing that I picked up, other than I thought I was tripping, I'm not going to lie, I was sitting there just zoned in, and the cinematography that they were doing around him, I felt that he was speaking right to me, and everything else was just whizzing by me. But the one thing I picked up is when he was talking about loving and longing and rubbing the phone, and I'm thinking, I know the NSA is watching me, but now is this dude watching me at home? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you're guilty of doing that.
Well, I'm not saying that it's not me, all right, but it could be that guy. I mean,
You can't
know.
confirm nor deny.
No, nor would I. And I have been saying I fit the description before. So, but other than that, I mean, he
You're
had a different
suspect.
look as well, right? I mean, he was going with a different look, a little beard, had his hair combed over.
Yeah, I think that one was a
He
couple.
looked a
I think it
little
was a
older.
couple years old.
Older, so that's his back look. So we
Yeah.
were looking back. So he was actually projecting to what we were doing now, because even a couple of years ago, or even if it was a year ago, what we're doing now on cell phones is mind blowing. And the fact that we're resided to use technology, even when us old people don't want to. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Old people like myself.
I
Speaking for
want
myself.
to. I try to stay up on technology. I'm sure at some point, like, I'll just be too old, right? Like, you can't keep up on it forever. But the way he was talking about like ordering up rides or food on your phone, it even like, what was it? Oh, this was probably like 8-9 years ago. We went to a Cubs game. My friend was like, I'm like, where are the tickets? And like, they're on my phone. I'm like, what do you mean the ticket? That
How is
doesn't
that
make
possible?
that doesn't make any sense, right?
Right.
But think if somebody would have said that like to you in the '80s, like, where's the tickets? They're on my phone. Be like, shut the fuck up, man. Where's the tickets?
Dude, I
Seriously.
thought we was going to the
That's not
concert.
tangible.
Right?
Well, it reminds me of the commercial where you got to have good service too, because you got them tickets on your phone. You better screenshot them bitches or something.
Right.
Because if you don't got service to pull them up, then you're screwed, right?
And I've had this exact problem. When we go to, and this seems like so long ago now, but we go to a baseball game, so there's been a couple, like last year, right? But what I'll do is I'll take a screenshot of each ticket and I'll send it to my other friends so that they each
They have their ticket.
well, we all have all of our tickets, so in case my phone dies or something, then they have mine too.
There you go.
So, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's like putting fingers in everybody's buttholes.
But it's nothing like that, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, in
But you know
in
what I'm
one
talking
in one
right?
sense it could be, in like a real obscure alternate universe it could be, but in the other sense, not even remotely.
Right. So it's
Yeah, you don't want to put
it's exactly right and
you don't want to
exactly
put
wrong at the
fingers
same
in
time.
everybody's buttholes.
All right, so I've got this article that says there's a black moon and a meteor shower. There's a lot happening in our sky tonight. This is all happening tonight, right? So, and this is
Is that NASA?
the Pennsylvania Real-Time News.
Oh, okay, real
So
time.
you know
Yeah,
it's
so
true.
It's right now.
It says there's a black moon rising tonight, according to Space.com. Sounds sort of like a song title, doesn't it? It's not, but it's pretty cool. Happening. Even if you likely won't be able to see it, at least according to Space.com, you won't be able to get a glance of it because it will be invisible to the naked eye.
Oh.
Don't get too bummed though, because there will still be reason to keep your eyes on the skies tonight. According to Space.com, there will be a meteor shower called the Kappa Cygnids taking place, and there might be a chance to get an occasional look at one of those. And if you don't see one, the website says they are coming out of the constellation Draco. So just look towards the constellation Draco, which should be precisely that way, and you probably will see some meteors overnight.
I believe I see Uranus.
2 to 3 meteors per hour expected to be, so
That
be
was
patient.
beautiful.
So what's a black moon, question mark, according to
What's gotta be black?
Space.com. The black moon is given the name to the third new moon in a season with 4 moons. Oh, you gotta think about that.
Yeah,
So
that's
this
like
will be a
math
new
problem.
moon, and it takes place at 10:41 p.m. Eastern time, according to the site. A new moon occurs when the moon is directly between the sun and the earth, but according to Space.com, the illuminated side of the moon faces away from the earth, making it invisible to the ground-based observers. So although you might be able to see all the happenings up there, let me rephrase that. So although you may not be able to see all the happenings up there, there's still plenty of reasons to look up in the sky tonight.
Right.
Meteors.
That's what the naked eye, they said. So if you dress your eyes, you have a good idea. You may be able to see them.
If you clothe your eyes with a telescope or a something that might light that moon up,
A
I don't know
finger in
what
the
that
butt.
would be. Finger in the butt, that might lighten that moon up, and you might be able to see it. That's
Yeah.
a full moon.
Well, that
Pretty
is
sure.
full moon.
Pretty sure.
That is
Roy Ramble says, "What's up, guys?" Tina Madrid, Jefferson Kramer. Is
What's
watching.
up, Tina Marie?
Brian Judelson. I don't know who you are, but welcome.
Tina Marie needs to put a few more names on there.
Yeah.
And
But
Marlo's
shout
place.
out to her.
I would
What's up?
say
That's
Tina
watching.
Marie Jepsen Kramer 2.0 is the next, what you should go with next.
There you go. Or the amazing in front.
Or,
Bam.
or like a lot of people do on Twitter, like the real
The real.
Tina Marie Jepsen Kramer 2.0.
Yeah, because you have to. You know, when people friend me nowadays, it's like, is this really you?
It's
You know,
the real. It says realstatetrainer.com right there.
And it's like, it's me. How do I know it's you just because you're saying it's you? You know,
What
I'm
would
supposed
the
to say,
fake
okay.
Stephen Trainer say right now? He would say it's
Me, exactly.
That's exactly what he would say. I'm not convinced.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
All right.
So that's why I asked for new photos.
I've got this story, and I think this is the feel-good story of the year. So, did you know that they are 3D printing houses in southern Mexico in this really poor community, and they're giving they're giving these really poor people who don't have access to shelter these houses, and they're going to print up 50 of these houses, and I just think it's a really fucking cool idea. And I think this is the future of building houses, and since I'm a realtor, I'm interested.
Without a doubt.
Have you seen this? You heard about this?
I have not. I am interested.
All right, so
So
this,
seems like 3D printing would be expensive.
well,
Okay,
here we
thanks
go.
to this industrial-sized soft serve machine. I'm just kidding. You do not want to eat that. Meet the Vulcan
Ice
2.
cream.
This 3D printer was made by a company called Icon. It weighs nearly 2 tons and can churn out an entire house in just 24 hours of print time. I wanted to learn more about this machine and what it could mean for the global housing crisis, so I spoke with Icon's co-founder and chief technology officer, Alex LaRue.
What we've been able to do is create something that you just set up once on a foundation. You hook it up to our Magma system. This is our material delivery system that we built in-house, and then you're off to the races. 3 people can operate the Magma and the Vulcan, so 3 people in total for both machines, and then you're printing a house.
We saw the Vulcan 1 earlier this year in Austin, Texas, where it printed the world's first 3D printed home to be awarded a construction permit. The Vulcan 2 features some significant upgrades, including an app for tablet-based controls, more reliable, consistent, and speedy printing, as well as a secret concrete-based mix called LavaCrete.
When you've seen concrete made and mixed, poured into a form, it's doing what it likes to do. It likes to just flow. What we are asking concrete to do is quite different. We're asking concrete to flow a little bit through a hose, but also stand up,
Like poop.
right, once we've extruded it. And getting
You
that
might
to
want to see a
happen
doctor.
every single time is a massive technological challenge that we have so far addressed pretty dang well, but I think there's still some room for improvement.
To prove the usefulness of this new technology and bring it to the people who need it the most, Icon partnered with a nonprofit dedicated to fighting global homelessness called New Story. Together, the companies began construction of the world's first 3D printed community in Mexico. So far, 2 houses have already been printed atop foundations, with finishing by
That would be
workers from a
those
local nonprofit called
houses.
Echale.
This Mexico project was about as difficult of a project as you can possibly imagine. It's a seismic zone. It's extremely remote. Power cuts out from time to time. There are safety concerns. You know, in this part of Mexico, it's just not very safe sometimes. You put all that together, and it's just like an enormous challenge, not just from a technology perspective, just operationally.
Icon says they're planning to 3D print a total of 50 houses in Mexico with the Vulcan 2. The community is designed for people living on an average income of less than $3 a day, and residents are set to start moving into their new homes sometime next year. If you're like me, you might be wondering when you will be able to buy yourself a 3D printed home, and how much that might cost. But Icon isn't ready to release all that information quite yet.
The big goal is downloading and printing a home in 24 hours for half the cost, 50%. That's kind of the overarching goal here at Icon. We're not quite there yet, but we're making steady progress towards that goal.
Beyond the obvious terrestrial need for more affordable housing, Icon is also one of a handful of companies currently in talks with NASA about potentially designing 3D printers to build structures on the Moon and Mars. Have you seen any emerging technology you'd like to see featured on What the Future? Let us know down in the comments.
So I think this this idea of 3D printing homes is something we should probably keep tabs on and keep a watch on. But
Without a doubt.
I think this is the future of probably home building
Definitely.
and right now, they still have to, like, they're just basically printing the walls. Like, they have to, like, actually fit the windows and the
Right.
doors in. And
Right.
if you saw, like, all the electrical stuff in there, it was run up and outside of the walls. So they're not running electrical through the walls. But still, if you're in this village in Mexico where all your shelter is, like, sticks with canvas over it, man, if you get an opportunity to get one of these houses and just be safe inside that little bubble, at least overnight, right? So where you don't have to worry about, oh,
Right.
is somebody gonna roll me? Is somebody gonna rob me? I mean, that's, as far as humanity goes, I mean, that's a huge step forward. Just have your little, I mean, they're not big houses right now. We're starting really small. Those were little
Security.
two bedroom, one bath. You got a nice little living room space and you got a kitchen space, but man, it's everything you need.
Yeah, but then I have,
Tiny houses is the way to go, right?
I mean, it's kind of becoming the future, like small houses and what do they call them?
Pink houses. small
Little pink houses for
Little
you and
pink
me.
houses.
But anyway, I think that, you know, we don't think about it that much in this
Yeah.
country. Like even like a poor person right now usually has, you know, like a 50-inch TV on their wall and an Xbox and they have
I
food,
do not have an Xbox.
a PlayStation 4, whatever.
I do not have a PS4. The only video game I have. We'll skip that for another
You still
time.
got a ColecoVision?
You know, I wish I did, man, because Donkey Kong, right?
There were some pretty fun games on a ColecoVision, I'm not gonna lie.
Now, Pitfall sucked. Right?
Yeah, it
That's
wasn't as good as the real one. And who was it? Our friend Andy Toman and his family went with the Nintendo, right? They were big into the Nintendo.
Yeah.
Remember
Activision.
what Max Toman said about Burger Time? Burger Time. Remember?
Every time.
Burger
I don't remember, what did he say?
Burger Time. Burger Time. Remember
That's all
the game
it said.
Burger Time?
Yeah,
All right.
you're building burgers.
That was a really cool game, man.
Why is
Take a call.
That's Terry Van Heusen. Tell your friend not to call me right now. I bet he just fucked up our news feed. Nope, it's still going.
He probably thought Austin.
Yeah, it blinked for a
wasn't
minute.
answering his calls. So he's like,
It played for a minute.
Terry,
Austin all right?
stop.
Austin is all right. This is Austin Live. AJ?
He had called me while I was doing something in the shop today too, so I have no idea what he wants. But
He probably needs a AI on the sex doll fixed.
the next thing I have is a 1980s sex ed commercial that I think is ridiculous. But
Play it, yeah.
do you guys have anything you want to talk about?
You know, I love the 1980s.
Yeah.
So let's watch this and then we can talk about all that.
Right.
And then we can talk about all the like PSAs and stuff like that that we just find hilarious.
Yeah, because they are usually pretty
This is-
hilarious, right?
Yep.
This is good
Reefer
though.
Madness.
All right.
Yeah,
Hey,
girl.
Nicholas,
Yes, babe?
I think I'm ready. You know, to have sex.
I figured you'd say that, so I can prepare.
You brought a condom.
No, silly.
I got two.
Going ass to mouth.
Nick. Kinda kinky.
I rigged this room with explosives. Premarital sex is a sin. Have fun running in hell, Beth.
Nick! Nick! No! Wait! Nick, please! No!
Virginity is pure, cool,
It's cool.
remain pure. Like, did this really air on public airway? Like, did we really do that in the 1980s?
It just scared the crap
That's-
out of me, man. It
that's
really
great.
did.
I mean, this girl wanted to get some dick and we're gonna blow her up?
Yeah.
Well, obviously Nick's gay, not that there's anything wrong with that.
Wait, what now?
Nick's homosexual.
Oh, this
Not-
guy?
Not that there's anything wrong with
Oh,
that.
so you're saying Nick wanted to get some dick, not some.
Exactly.
Okay. That might be it. But I'm serious, like, this aired on TV in the 1980s. It doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not to me.
Dude, blow up a girl that wants a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you should hug that girl. And you should give her
Give her
some dick.
dick.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
She's not a bad person.
she's got needs.
Yeah.
I never.
I don't know exactly. I would want to say if that was a PSA that aired in the 80s, I would want to know who actually filmed that
And thought it was cool.
and thought it was a good idea to
Yeah.
put that out on the public
Right.
airways.
Who signed off on it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Executive produced that.
Oh,
Because we all know that.
no, wait. If a girl wants to have sex, she should probably be blown up. That
Chicks-
makes sense.
No.
How do you
No,
think she
chicks
got in that
need
commercial? Harvey Weinstein.
Chicks need dick. Chicks need dick.
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah.
Hey, that's easy for him to say. That's gonna be our new shirt. You will be getting all the Moon Club swag. Chicks need dick.
Absolutely, 100%.
It'll be a good shirt. I think that's a good one. That's Austin's saying of the day.
Well, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Since we're on the topic of 1980s commercials, did you know?
Where's the beef?
That's a good one. That's definitely a good one.
That's probably the best. Drop
Re-
the mic.
okay.
1980s.
Austin and I have already talked about this. Steve, you have not. So I'm putting you at a little bit of disadvantage, but I'm also letting everybody know you don't. I didn't know this until I think a couple days ago. Remember the McDonald's? I think it was called the McDLT
yeah,
or
without
the SLT. It was the one that would
The-
keep it hot and the cool, right?
Yeah. The best McDonald's sandwich of all time.
Right. Do you remember that, Steve?
Yeah, it came in a separate container,
Yeah.
one on the side, but it was double. Yeah,
Do you remember the commercial for the McDLT?
I do not.
Do you
Good for
remember
some-
George Costanza from Seinfeld?
I do.
Did you know that he was like the cool, hip, young guy in that commercial, and he sings and dances, and he advertises the McDLT?
I believe it. I believe it. I can see George doing that.
Well, it blew my mind, and it really happened, and here it is.
You know, he's got hair now.
He had hair then.
Yeah.
And then lost it and then went back to having hair.
He has hair now?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he
Modern
does.
miracle. Oh, I mean, he could definitely pull it off. He's got the money to do it.
Oh, definitely.
All
And
right.
he even did it in Seinfeld, right? He wore a wig that one day. Remember Elaine had to pull it off and threw it out the window?
Yeah. Kinda.
Seinfeld's hilarious.
I didn't watch Seinfeld live. I was working at Papa John's, I had a young family, I didn't get to see it, but I caught most of it in syndication. I've been perfectly candid about that. Right?
It comes over well, some of them, and some of them don't, you know.
To me, Seinfeld holds up. I'll keep
It
watching
was like Bill and Hillary.
It's not as good
with
as
Star
Curb Your
Trek.
Enthusiasm, in my opinion.
Right.
I think Curb Your Enthusiasm is better, just one man's opinion, but Seinfeld, most of those episodes, you can watch them day, they hold up.
Don't be ashamed now.
But I also remember like the reference, like the time frame, the reference, right? Like
Yeah.
if they might not hold up to kids, I don't know. But anyway, here is the McDLT commercial with Jason Alexander as a young hip kid that can sing and dance apparently.
That don't quite make it. Yeah! You say that just once you like your hamburger hot and your lettuce and tomato cool and crisp all at the same time? Yeah! Well, I say you got it. I'm talking McDonald's new lettuce and tomato hamburger, the McDLT. I'm talking butter and the beef on the hot side.
And the hot stays hot.
The new McDLT.
Hot, hot.
Crisp lettuce and tomato on the cool side.
And the cool stays cool.
The new McDLT.
Cool crisp.
The beef stays hot, the cool stays crisp. Put it together, you can't resist. The highest taste, the coolest dish.
Keep it hot, hot. Keep it cool, cool. McDLT. McDLT. Hot, beefy McD. Cool, crisp LT. McDLT. It's a good time. Hot, beefy McD.
For the great taste,
Cool, crisp LT. On McDonald's.
could be the best tasting lettuce and tomato hamburger ever.
Oh, cut it out.
LT.
Could be the best tasting lettuce and tomato hamburger ever.
It was, right?
It was good, I think, yeah.
I'm not big on lettuce and tomato. Just give me a burger. Meat and cheese. Some bacon.
Well,
throw some more meat on there.
The way they did the
pork chop.
McDLT,
chicken.
it was shredded lettuce. I would rather have just a leaf lettuce.
Leaf
I
lettuce.
think it was
definitely,
leaf.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
You gotta
leaf.
go with romaine if you're going with lettuce.
Yeah, I mean, romaine is solid, and me and Mindy have talked about this for the BLTs that I made. But honestly, the iceberg, it works because it's crunch. You want that crunch, but we know there's
Yeah.
no nutritional value in
A
iceberg.
little bit of
lettuce.
water, a little bit of water.
Right, so it just gives you the crunch. So
All water.
romaine would be better. It gives you some crunch, and there's a lot more nutritional value in that. I was going with kale on my BLTs, and Mindy made fun of me because it doesn't give you the crunch. But I'm like, well, yeah, but kale's a superfood.
Right.
But
Spinach.
yeah.
Just like a finger in the butt.
Is that your theme for today?
You
Yeah.
know what? Drink every time. Finger in the butt. Austin mentions.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna tell you what. We're gonna have some drunk people because that's at least 10 right there.
Yeah. I've heard finger in the butt quite a few times.
Yeah. It's like, who doesn't like that?
Some people don't, but you always find out real quick. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not one of those
It's like,
things
don't
that
don't
you're not
stop.
gonna know. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing.
don't
Is
don't
that
put a finger in my
I
butt.
think a lot of people would like a finger in the butt and they just don't know it. So you gotta sneak it. You gotta sneak it sometimes.
Right.
You gotta sneak it. It was snuck on me the first time I had it, and I'm
Yeah.
like, no, then nothing goes up there, and then I was like, oh, hey, hold on, what the?
I'll
And
give
then-
you 5 minutes.
Hey, my
I'll give
friend,
you 5 minutes to.
my friend
quit
Mike,
that.
my friend Mike Gardner had the best joke I've ever heard about fingers in the butt. He's like, I'm gonna try to do it. If I mess it up, Mike Gardner, I'm sorry, but he's like, the first time a woman sticks her finger in the butt, it's a lot like when you go through a red light,
Yeah.
and then he says, God damn, I'm gonna fuck this joke up. He's like, hey,
Oops.
yeah, oops, whatever. And then like you go through the red light and then you look in your rear view mirror and the guy behind you goes through the light too and you're like, okay, well we're just gonna get there quicker now.
I get that.
Come on, it's a better joke than that.
I get that.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it was the, like you said.
No round of
You
applause.
couldn't do it justice.
Yeah,
You're on the applause, right?
I definitely didn't do it justice. The joke is better than that. I missed some of the setup in the punch, but it's there. It's
The
there.
gist is a finger in the butt's fun.
I'm gonna tell you what. First time I had a finger in the butt, right? I was actually raped. I know I was raped.
Was it Snoop Dogg?
No, I was at the doctor's office. It was a nurse practitioner. He was leaving. It was the last time I seen that dude, and if I ever see him again, I didn't need that. I did not need that.
By
It
the
was
way-
kidney stones, asshole.
It was unsolicited.
Kidney stone.
Yeah.
I had a toothache. What are you doing?
What the hell are you
I had
doing?
a toothache, Doc.
But he's like, I'm not gonna be here.
I'll give you 5 minutes to quit.
Tom Segura has the best jokes about his doctor putting fingers up his ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Did Tom Segura and his wife have a podcast basically about shit?
You talking about your mom's house?
Yeah. That's
You're-
all they talk about.
You're having a hard time enunciating.
I am.
I've got this video here about a car-sized asteroid. A car-sized asteroid that had a near miss with the Earth.
I heard about that, man.
Yeah.
I heard about that. It's
And
crazy.
we're gonna go from fingers in the butt to this. I think it's like a
It's about the
perfect
same
transition,
thing.
right? Yeah, it
it's
really
about
is.
the same thing.
I mean, this is a car-sized asteroid that tried to put a finger in our butt.
Yeah, I mean, you get hit with a car-sized asteroid, it's gonna put a finger in the butt.
Yeah, it depends on the trajectory. I think I'm using that word right. Like if this is the Earth and it hits like this, it's gonna be all right because it's gonna burn up in the atmosphere. But if it hits like this, and
It depends on what-
if it hits a major city, it's gonna be a bad day.
Yeah, and they were predicting Asia, right? Is where they
For
were saying
this?
it was gonna- yeah, I think so.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, they said that if it, changed about the spin of the Earth and where it was going by, yada yada. if it
I didn't-
changed direction.
I didn't hear that much about it.
It actually went between the moon and the Earth, right? It was
Oh,
that
it's
close.
okay. So
Yeah.
if the moon's here and the Earth's here, and
Like
usually
that.
we worry about stuff between the Earth and the moon, this was like up here. It wasn't like it was very close.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, here it is. The sound always takes a couple seconds to kick in.
Now, I
The
believe,
asteroid that came as close as 1,830 miles, 2,950
That's crazy, right?
kilometers,
That's
to
between here
Earth
and New
was
Mexico.
only noticed 6 hours later. Asteroids plowing into Earth is something we hope to avoid. Imagine if such an impact happened in one of our major cities. The effects would be catastrophic. That's why there are such inventions
It
as
took a minute. It
NASA's
was a
ion
delayed
engine,
reaction.
for instance.
And you
So
know-
when an asteroid roughly
Dude,
the
this
size
isn't-
of a car rushed close
this
by
isn't
to
a
our planet
global
on
killer.
Sunday
It's
and
a city
nobody
killer.
noticed
Yeah.
until after
well,
the
they
fact,
do quite,
the
yeah,
news is
city
rather
plus,
worrying.
yeah.
It came a mere
It can destroy
1,830
Chicago.
miles.
well, it could also, I'm sorry, it could also change, weather patterns.
It could also hit in the ocean and cause a tidal wave. Like it could be
Tsunami.
more than a city killer. It could be a major
Coastal
problem.
killer.
Yeah.
But it could even change, like I said, all of our seasons and stuff. They said that that's what happened.
Millions of lives.
Right.
And now we will listen to, again,
By Earth, as per Business Insider, the near miss as
Tell us what's
far
up,
as
Austin.
has been recorded. The asteroid's flight was the closest one to fly by Earth ever. It was caught by a NASA-funded program,
Hey, for the
which has
Facebook
named
feed,
the
you don't even need to
asteroid
turn the lights on. It's fine
2020
right now.
QG. Even if the asteroid had had an impact with Earth, given its size, it wouldn't have made any huge damage. What's worrying is that no one saw it coming until it had already passed by.
Stand that poster
The
up real
asteroid approached and detected from the direction of the sun. Paul Chodes, the director of NASA's Center for Near-Earth Object Studies, told Business Insider, "We didn't see
it's
it
worse.
coming. It was the Palomar Observatory that first
Angle it the
noticed
other
the
way.
asteroid's path."
The
As
reflection.
Chodes mentioned
Yeah, it is.
yesterday's close approach is closest
Angle it
on
that way.
record.
I was wrong.
If you
I was
discount
wrong.
a few known asteroids that have
Awesome.
actually
Yeah.
impacted our planet,
you go.
2020 QG flew over the southern hemisphere, and Tony Dunn on Twitter created a simulation to show its speed, 7.7 miles per second, 12.4 kilometers per second,
Yeah.
and it looks impressively close to Earth.
All right,
Once
this
the
is hard to listen
telescope
to, but we
readings
get
came
it.
through.
An asteroid came really close to hitting the Earth, and it was, I guess it was about the size of a, Buick or whatever, Volkswagen.
and I love how they tried to downplay it. Because
Well-
they're like, oh, it's not going to happen. Oh, we didn't even see it coming. Well, I had heard about it prior to it,
No, you
that
didn't.
night. Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Very good.
Steve was on the phone with the asteroid.
I'm like, damn, I see some shit, it's close.
It was crazy. But yeah, me and NASA's like this. Right on top. But anyhow.
Two fingers?
No. You want to see that?
Here's the thing. I believe, and I think this is scientifically documented. If it's not, I'm sorry.
I'm sure it's
I'm
not.
for spreading-
It should be.
I'm not
I'm
trying
sure
to
it's
spread
not.
misinformation, but there have been asteroidal impacts that have reset civilization. And it goes back to probably, I don't know, I don't want to talk time frame because I'll fuck it up, but
Millions of years.
yeah, well,
Thousands of years.
not even that.
Thousands
I don't
of
even-
millions
I
of
don't even
years.
think it's that long ago. I think it might be 100,000 years ago. But we should worry about this. There are these asteroids that are out there flying around that if they directly impacted the Earth, it would be a reset event.
Yeah.
Like we said,
Most-
Ice Age.
Most of civilization could be wiped out and we'd have to start over. I think it's happened already before. I
think
really
it's
do.
happened several times.
I think it's happened.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I
several
think at
times.
least 4 or 5 times that we can document, and maybe we've been doing this hundreds of thousands of times. Who knows? Who knows how many times we've done
Yeah,
it?
right. Right.
But if we have the technology to like monitor this shit that's floating around, and we missed this one, obviously we missed it because we didn't know it was there until it was already flown by, right? So
Yeah.
we should be doing everything we can to be monitoring these things that are flying around.
Yeah, without a doubt.
What happened that day? You know, I mean, they see everything else, all of a sudden they miss this one. I mean, was it like this?
Well, see, the thing is,
Or what the hell happened?
I know exactly. The problem is this one came from the direction of the sun, so it's really hard to pick up.
It's like, damn, I can't see
Yeah,
it.
it's really hard to
What
pick
the
up
fuck is
things
that?
coming from the direction of the sun because obviously the sun, right? But why we can't do that and all that. I mean, that's I'll leave that to the scientists. But
Yeah.
We need to get better at figuring this
We
out,
can't get
and I hope we do.
fucked up by
And,
asteroids.
by the way, we should be putting a base on the moon, and we should be working really hard to put a base on Mars, because if we do get wiped out, humanity should live on, right? We should live on.
That's why I'm freezing stone.
Yeah, that's why I'm
So-
jacking off 4 or 5 times a day.
God bless Elon.
Don't use
Elon.
ice at my house.
Huh?
I said, don't use the ice at my house.
Okay, noted, noted.
Yeah. You gotta use them trays and just put it back in. I'm doing what I can for the future, man.
Ice, baby.
To go.
Bing, 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 bing. Bing, bing, bing.
But yeah, so let's,
All right, stop.
we were talking
Don't
about
eat the ice at
PSA.
Don't eat the ice at Steve's house.
No, you don't want to now. Because they might have spider power.
It might.
Well, yeah, probably. No, I'm kidding. That was a joke to you people at home. I mean, it's cool to drink the ice.
There's
Come on by
semen
for a
in the ice cubes.
Come
Don't
on by
eat
for a
the ice
rookie. I
cubes.
mean a drink. Hello.
It's- You're just sitting across from Steve, and Steve's looking at you like, yeah, you're drinking.
Hip hip hop, hip hip, hip hip hop, hip hop hop.
Hip hop, hip
Hooray.
hop, hip hop, hooray.
You're no Rita Wilson,
That's for true.
for
Hey,
sure.
We should
She gone.
have Austin spit some lyrics right now. Do some hip hop.
You
hooray.
can't really even talk.
Well, that's why it would.
I'm having trouble.
It would be, you know, a good podcast. But we were talking about PSAs, man. Look up Reefer Madness.
Oh, I know all about Reefer Madness.
Yeah.
So black people and Mexican people would smoke reefer and have
And
a
then rape
tendency
white
to
women.
rape white women, right? Yeah.
That could happen, and also just the dude playing the piano went all crazy because he was smoking that reefer.
Reefer, man. Reefer will do that to you.
And right after that, then they wanted, and this being because this was actually put out by the United States government. Right after that, they wanted all the farmers to grow hemp and everything because canvas for all the tents and all the military surplus and for the ropes.
Reefer Madness was I think it was a misinformation campaign from William Randolph Hearst, right? Who
Yeah.
owned a bunch of textile industries, and he was
Paper
worried,
mills.
and paper mills, because he was worried that this new, it wasn't even new, this new crop hemp, and it was the invention of the
Miracle crop.
decorticator. I might be getting that word wrong.
Fornicate?
But the decorticator would separate the hemp from the stem in a way like the cotton gin did with Eli Whitney, right?
Yeah.
So it was a really effective way of separating the hemp, and I'm probably getting the words wrong.
The devil's lettuce.
Right. So he saw this as a threat, so he came up, instead of like converting his textile mills to
Right.
be able to process this hemp, he's like, well, what is disinformation, everything about hemp? And when the U.S. Congress signed it into law, they didn't even know that hemp and marijuana were the same thing.
Right.
Right? They had no idea. So this was just really, looking back, a massive disinformation campaign.
Yeah, without
to demonize marijuana wasn't even a word. That was like something that
one of the biggest.
Go ahead.
One of the biggest disinformation campaigns of all time.
Yeah, one of the biggest and most
Yeah.
effective, because
Yeah.
what, 60? Well, I don't know how long it's been. Years later,
About all.
we're just
Close
now.
to 100, yeah.
Yeah, we're
We're
just
just now
now.
realizing.
30, 40,
We're just
80
now
years.
making hemp or marijuana legal again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, they're still just now starting to make clothes and paper and,
Yeah.
and textiles, because they can also make plastic. It's harder than fiberglass and just as light, more durable. So I mean, like the 3D printing, you can make tables, anything out of it. So
Yeah,
like you said, there was a reason for them to be scared about it.
for sure. But looking back, it should have been embraced, because it would have
Change the
can make-
landscape.
You can make food, shelter, and clothing out of hemp.
Yeah.
Canvas. Canvas was originally like a cannabis cloth, and it was called canvas because it was made out of cannabis. I mean,
Strong.
years later, cannabis isn't made out of cannabis, but that's where the word came from.
Yeah,
Right.
just like Coca-Cola, cocaine, Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
I mean, yep. God, the good old days when you could just go buy something at the store, a product, and you could go
Some
smoke
Coke?
and snort. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't do that stuff. I mean, I quit.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think, well, we've been talking about the 1980s a lot today,
It was a good time,
right? But, you know, the 1980s, it was a great time because
Members only jackets.
members only in
I'm
the
thinking
early,
Miami Vice.
Was that
in the early 1980s.
Nice jacket,
Don't
Austin.
break my fucking Bert Kreischer poster, motherfucker.
Oh, well.
In the early 1980s, everybody was doing coke, right? Before AIDS.
Not us.
Like, I think the best time to live would have been early 80s,
1984.
mid-cocaine, pre-AIDS. Because AIDS ruined the cocaine epidemic, right? Because you can't fuck anybody now because everybody's gonna get AIDS. And I think they lied about that to us too, because no heterosexuals were getting AIDS.
So,
Remember Eddie Murphy said?
He
Eddie Murphy
survived,
said?
right?
It's like,
Hey, Eddie
you
Murphy,
go-
you have
go play
AIDS,
tennis.
but I'm not a homosexual. Like,
Sure.
sure you're not homosexual.
Sure you're not, Mr. Murphy. Sure you're not.
You think Eddie Murphy's ever gonna do another stand-up routine?
No.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
My thing is, would he be able? A lot of comedians today have to be so politically correct
You know what?
now. You know.
Yeah, I don't think his
watch
comedy
what they
would-
say.
I think this comedy would,
Transcend.
Well, okay, I'll put it to you like this. His old comedy he wouldn't be able to do that, but come on, Eddie Murphy could adapt and overcome. He could
the
literally
greatest
see the
comedian of all time.
Well, you get to be
Netflix
out there being donkey from
before
Shrek.
COVID. I think
Hey,
Netflix
hey.
offered him like $70 million. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this. I think they offered him $70 million for 2 stand-up routines, and he was thinking about it. He was actually going to the Comedy Store and working on bits, and people were saying that they were funny, and then COVID happened, and he stopped.
$70 million. That's the same he played for the transsexual voter.
Is that what it was?
Right, but it was right around there, ballparking. I just ballpark.
But you know what? You don't need it.
Well, he doesn't need it, but you know what? I might need it. I might need some Eddie Murphy stand-up.
I think we all do, yeah.
Yeah,
Just like we all need the Coming to America sequel,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
I
Are
don't
we
know.
ready for that?
Dolomite was pretty fucking good.
I didn't like it.
Straight.
You didn't like it?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
You're the first person I've ever heard say that.
I thought it was lame.
You thought it was lame? You thought Dolomite?
Yeah.
Lame. Okay.
You heard it here first?
You heard it first. Austin says Dolomite is lame.
Damn! No, we ain't gonna put that on t-shirt. That don't deserve to be on t-shirt.
All right, so
80s. We're talking about times. I think my favorite time, would be the 50s.
you weren't alive in the 50s?
I know.
So
But
what was going on in the 50s that you enjoyed?
I think like the era, man. Pre-cell phone, going out to the freaking car hop,
Finger
Right.
hanging?
that
Right.
type of stuff,
Steak and Shake.
Steak and Shake, Choke
We
and
grew up across the
Puke,
street.
Yeah.
Those type of cars, hot rod.
Remember
just
when
a
you
lot
took your
simpler
mom's
times.
escort over here to Steak and Shake and popped the hood?
That was classic time.
Yeah.
Classic time. And I was just riding by Keller's the other day and think, man, I would love to have an old drive-in type restaurant.
Right.
Sonic, but something has good food. I'm just saying.
You're saying
And girls
Sonic doesn't
with
have
roller skates
Yeah, girls with roller skates, that's
or
awesome.
rollerblades.
I say go back to the skates, man. Skates.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Or let's go
Okay.
rollerblades. Let's go rollerblades. But
Let me show you
the
something.
thing about Sonic is that when my daughters were young and we were playing travel softball, so we would go to Pekin a lot because there were fields over there we would play on. And when we would go over there, we're like, oh, there's a Sonic over here. Let's go to Sonic because we can't get Sonic in Bloomington.
Right, right.
And then the Sonic in Bloomington showed up and we went there once and we're like, this isn't that good.
No, it's not. And it's same. I had the same experience because, I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. So down there we had Sonic for a while, and I used to love going home we had to go Sonic, you know, and I'd go there 2, 3, 4 times.
Really?
While we were there, really, truly. And when it came up here, again, excitement built, let's go to Sonic. This shit ain't that
I had the same experience with Chick-fil-A, right? We didn't have a Chick-fil-A here. I had heard about Chick-fil-A all the time. So I go, and this is, I don't know, it's probably 8 or 9 years ago. Before we had a Chick-fil-A, I went to Kansas City. My friend Scott lives in Kansas City, and I would go there to visit my friend Scott, and Doug would fly in, and we'd hang out for a weekend, and we'd go get really drunk on Friday, and then I'm always up early, whether I drink or not. So I'd get up, and I'm like, fuck it, these guys are gonna sleep until like noon, 1 o'clock. I went to fucking Chick-fil-A, and I saw it. We drove by it. I'm like, we're going to Chick-fil-A. And I went to Chick-fil-A. I'm like, oh, this is just a fucking chicken sandwich, man. Like, it was good, but it was built up too much, right? It was built up too much. Like,
Don't believe the hype.
There was too much hype behind it. That's exactly what it was. Like Flavor Flav said, don't believe the hype. It's a sequel. As an equal, can I get this through to you?
Yeah.
My 98's booming with the trunk of funk.
Oh.
Yeah.
And with that being said, their chicken biscuits are the damn bomb.
I don't think I've ever had one.
You got
Right.
Are they better than the lobster biscuits at Red Lobster?
You talking about the cheddar
No,
bacon?
nothing better.
Yeah.
Nothing better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
So if the lobster biscuit is the 10, where does the chicken biscuit come in? It's like an 8.5?
Well, again, it's more like a chicken on a biscuit as opposed to like.
Right.
You know,
Oh.
all made
Right.
together.
And that takes me back to the Triscuit or the chicken in a
Triscuit.
biscuit. Chicken in a biscuit. That's the fucking best cracker ever, right?
You missed
Right.
it.
Right. Yeah.
I'll throw it up and then we'll hit it. Found it all around. Now you're gonna get it. Stephen T's.
Ground ball
True
on the
talent.
ground and then I missed it.
Oh snap! Through the legs. He bit it.
Outfielder run up and then he bit it. I don't know.
That was all right. Man.
It wasn't bad.
Let's throw some freestyling around here. Go Austin.
I'm taking the glory hole at Riscase.
Is that your opening line? Are we supposed to go off that?
Glory hole, now you know, it's been told. Nothing that you want to do, something that you want to do, but yeah, it's still there.
What's that on the floor? Austin, let it the floor.
Cookie and a biscuit, don't eat that shit, cause it's nasty.
You know what I really miss, and this will take us
The
back.
glory hole at Riscase.
I think you missed the way the dick tastes.
Yeah. You know, the only time I taste dick is when I eat it. Never mind. But anyhow, back again. Yeah, I think it used to be called Famous Recipe. Was a chicken place that I used to like. It was like right
that's what we
across
call
from
it.
Wesleyan on Main Street there by the
Absolutely.
drugstore.
Bona Feast.
Bona Feast.
Bona Feast, famous recipe, yeah.
Yep.
Because they had booths, and the booths had phones,
Oh, there you
and
go,
you would
there you
pick
go.
up the phone, and you would order your chicken, and they would bring it to the table,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
I think it's right where
Right.
it was a dollar store now. It
Right.
was a Walgreens, but then the Walgreens moved up the street,
Yeah. Yeah.
right by U-Haul on Main Street.
Yeah, and that was awesome, man. I love the chicken, the biscuits, and the honey. Oh man. That's
And the
a good
hot
time.
cum.
You know, I think I might have got mine without that. I may not even have known that that was an
Wait.
option.
Did you have an ice cold Pepsi with ice cubes? Because they used to put cum in the ice cubes.
Who
Just
would
like
do
you
some
do.
shit- Who would do some stupid shit like that? Think you're trying to
Steven.
like save the future or something?
Right?
You're gonna have to do better than that, Steven.
Ow, you're hurting me, Austin.
You're hurt. You're hurting my
Alright, so
neck.
we've got like 10,000 people watching. A couple
What
of,
up, peeps?
Carol Volnechovich, Todd Witten, Marco Gonzalez, Stephanie Orsini, Diane Bohr and Andrew Decker, Rosie Torres.
Oh,
David
Rosie
Estep,
Torres.
Michael Tweet, and more than 10,000 people in Indochina. Apparently, we're big in Indochina. Who knew?
You know, I haven't been to Indochina,
What's up
but
with
I
that?
imagine I might be big there. You know, tall-wise.
I think Marcellus Wallace said it best, and he said, if that N-word goes to Indochina, I want an N-word waiting in a bowl of rice to pop a cap in his ass.
Marcellus Wallace. Was that pre-Red Ball or after Red Ball?
What was Red Ball?
When he had the ball gag in his mouth?
Oh, that was pre. Well, wait a minute. No, that was post Red Ball. Yeah.
Yeah. Post Red Ball.
Well, no, it wasn't.
Post,
Because it was.
yeah.
Okay, hold on. He's talking about Bruce Willis after he lost the fight, right? Because Bruce Willis threw the fight and then was on the run. And then he's talking to his boys. No, it was before ball gag. Because remember, he saw Bruce Willis walking across the street in front of him, and he was like, "Oh shit!" And then he ran him over, right?
But he did not have to.
Pulp Fiction, a great movie, by the way.
He did not have to go back for him.
Uma Thurman.
Yeah.
But
no, I'm going that he said that pre-ball gag.
I think pre-ball.
But he did not have to go back for him. He just, I think that Bruce Willis realized that I cannot let this man.
Oh, so let's go down that road,
Go
right?
through him.
Okay,
He
so
realized that he had this watch up somebody's ass.
right.
You know, he wondered,
Right.
like, every time he looked at his watch, why it smelled like shit.
Well, here's the
You
thing. I'm going to bring this all home. All right. So let's put ourselves in that exact mind frame.
He
right?
didn't have to go
So,
back.
right at the point where Marcellus Wallace sees Bruce Willis walk in front of him, he runs him over. They get in this massive fight, right? They both want to kill each other, but then they get abducted, put into this basement, and the Gimp and this guy, like, basically, like, start
He didn't have to go back.
start fucking or whatever. So Bruce Willis breaks out. He's free. He's like, hold on.
He's looking
like,
at all the weapons.
I wanted to kill this guy, but I was gonna kill him honestly. Like, I wasn't gonna hold him prisoner and like ass rape him
No,
for
I'm gonna
months.
let
He's
him
like,
go.
I'm not gonna let him go out like that, right?
So he let it
Yeah.
go.
I think that's kind of what makes that movie so good. It's like this person that I hate, but I don't want him to go
You
out
put
like
me in a
that.
Yeah, you put me in a position.
So he's like, so what happens next? He's like, what do you mean what happens next? He's like, oh yeah, well your LA privileges have been revoked, but I'm not
Right.
gonna kill you, right?
Right.
And he's like, get your shit, get out of here, and we're good.
And I'm
But
gonna take
thank-
care of my business.
Right.
thank
I'm
you.
gonna get an N-word with a blowtorch and a pair of pliers, and we're about to get medieval on this motherfucker!
Motherfucker.
Right?
Right.
And that's why it's such a great movie, because there's these dynamics that's like, oh yeah, we wanted to kill each other 2 hours ago, but now, like, I'm just gonna give you a pass, you get to go.
Well, yeah, I mean, that ass rape supersedes anything. That's my opinion.
Yeah?
Yeah, don't ass rape me.
No. If,
Right.
if you do, it's gonna end up bad. You know, one
Like-
way or another, for
like
both of them.
Bert Kreischer says on Two Bears in One Cave all the time, he's like, I don't want to be cummed in.
No. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
No, we don't mind.
I don't want to become dead. No. Actually, that's where I draw
Would-
the line.
Rather on, I mean, any two-letter phrase, or
Right.
two-letter word. No.
I want to do the
In,
coming in.
on. Yeah, if there's gonna be some coming, I mean, you know, I'm a giver as well as a receiver.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll do it on or in or around or
Was
even
it
like
now that said comes with?
even in like
I
a
believe it
potted,
was.
even like a potted plant, or you know, like covers or an ear. I don't care, wherever you want it.
Yeah, just don't come in me.
Right? To me,
Here,
like,
drop here comes an orgasm.
Yeah, just,
well done.
yeah, it's like, come on me if you have to.
It's like for me,
How many
like
times have I heard that?
if a girl's gonna go ahead and suck my dick, then she doesn't have to swallow it. She doesn't want to. Like all I want you to do is like get it out of
Okay,
me.
just get
If
it.
you want to like go spit it in the sink or a potted plant, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, right.
I mean, don't feel like you have to kiss me and put it back in my mouth though. But
Right.
But you're not opposed to that either.
whatever you do with it is fine with me.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
you heard it here first. And
Just get it out.
Yeah.
Just get it out.
That's what I enlisted you for, is to get this out of me.
Man, I would
Right.
love to be in Indochina, man. That'd be cool. I think.
Yeah. In a bowl of rice.
So are you Chinese then?
I'm sorry?
Are you Chinese?
No, I'm actually not. Probably Irish. I don't know where I got these brickleberries from.
The what?
I got some brickleberries.
Oh, you probably got them from Lucy October.
I
that I think it might be a ginger.
It might be a ginger thing. You know, it could be. You know, I got a little bit of ginger blood in me.
I can't believe we're hanging out.
Do you have a soul?
Sometimes I ask myself that, but I think I hear myself say yes. You know, whether that be the truth or not, who am I to say? You know, I'm just me.
Yeah, how would you know?
I mean, I'm the one that.
All right.
What do we know? You know,
We don't know anything.
we could be androids.
We could be patsies.
We could be like in Blade Runner. You know, we could be that replicant that thinks they're human.
Absolutely. They redid Blade Runner, right?
They did, and let's be honest, you're not gonna top Blade Runner.
Yeah, I don't think I
You
saw
know,
it.
Harrison Ford is like one of the premier best leading man actors of all time.
Of all
think
time.
so.
And that
Yeah.
girl that was in that movie that was the android or whatever we're gonna call her, she's so hot, man. Like her eyes and everything, right?
Yeah, yeah.
She's just like so beautiful.
Who
Like
was that?
I don't care if you are a machine. I'm gonna do
Who
bad
was that?
things to you. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what he said to her, actually. Not in so many words, it was the eye.
Echo. Who was the hot girl in Blade Runner?
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Who were
That's
the
right.
stars in Blade Runner 1983? Hey, Echo. Hey, Echo. Who were the stars of Blade Runner 1983?
Here's something I found from the article Blade Runner franchise on Wikipedia. Blade Runner 4, Iron Talon, also known as Blade Runner 4.
Never mind.
Beyond of Iron,
No,
Alexa,
is the third
or
novel
Echo,
written by
off.
Peter.
Yeah. All right. So I had a couple other things I wanted to go through. We're right at the end. I don't think any of these will probably be worth going over, but COVID-19 warning: humid air can extend the lifetime of virus-laden aerosol. The only reason I thought that was interesting is because at the beginning of this, they told us that in the
3
summertime,
minutes gone.
yeah, once it gets hot out, it's going to be gone, right? So apparently we were wrong about that too. 2 galaxies swirl together in a cosmic collision captured by Hubble. That was cool.
That is crazy right there.
Right, and I've got a, I guess it's a 1 minute and 16-second depiction of what would happen. And they say that even if this did happen and we were in one of these galaxies, we'd probably be fine because there's so much space in between all these stars, we'd probably never even notice. But this is what would happen if 2 galaxies collided. And we'll go ahead and fast forward a little bit, probably a little bit more, probably a little bit more.
This is what happens when
All right, this is what would happen when galaxies would collide. Oh shit, Steve, hit that light. No, go back a little bit.
worlds collide.
Galaxies, not even just worlds,
Are you
galaxies.
ready for this? Are you ready for it?
He got the COVID. And this would be over actually billions of years, but this is what would happen when galaxies collide. And apparently galaxies collide all the time.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Right, so that was like a $6 million or 6 million year depiction of it. But that's cool to watch.
Time flies when you're having fun.
All right, so let's.
I did have one thing, because there's one thing I thought that I heard, and I thought it was pretty interesting. Did you hear this, and did you hear this? They're saying that Modelo is responsible for spreading the coronavirus.
Because their main competition is Corona beer.
You heard it here first. Bam.
All right,
Drop the
so
mic.
let's go a little bit of overtime because I think I have a couple of good things here that we haven't really touched on. And this one is a JRE tomb, but they're talking about how sloths mate, and I think this is valuable information that we should put out for the Moon Club podcast.
Definitely, because it's very similar to the way I do as well.
Yep, I can see you being one of the sloths right here. Oh, maybe I thought it. Austin had to get another drink. He was all out.
Special on the what are those animals that hang upside down in Australia?
Bats?
No, they're like furry. They're furry and cute.
Wallabies? No, they bounce around.
I forget what they're called. But
Wombats?
no, they've got them. They got them here too, I think. But anyway, this motherfucker is on one side of the river, and he can hear a mating call from the other side of the river, and he's slow as shit.
Sloth?
Sloth. A sloth. So this sloth here is the female sloth, and and I don't know where they get these cameras from, but they watch this guy go down the tree, across a limb, into the water, can't swim for shit. There's fucking rapids, he makes his way across all the... Oh, because he can hear that.
Yeah.
Gets across, climbs it. It takes like 2 days. And then he finds this other sloth and he climbs on top of her, couple shakes of the head, done. Oh, who's this bitch?
But now he can think. Now the poor little guy can think.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, she wants to eat my fruit.
Did Cassie give you that?
Here, my fruit, bitch.
Yeah. Alright, I thought that would be cool.
That was very interesting.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
like I said, it is a lot like my sister. I'm not gonna lie.
So, and then we talked about Marshawn Lynch for a while and about how he would handle the press.
Marshawn Lynch?
Love Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
And where's
Sorry,
Lumber?
will they let me start? Hey, I'm just here so I don't get fined. So y'all can sit here and ask me all
It
the
looks
questions
like
y'all want to. I'm gonna answer with the same answer, so y'all can shoot if y'all please. I'm here so I won't get fined. I'm here so I won't get fined. I'm here so I won't get fined. I'm here so I won't get fined.
I'm just here so I won't get fined. You know what I mean? So I really thought you guys was gonna find Marshawn Lynch, one of the greatest power backs of all time. And another great saying of his is, run for a motherfucker's face.
Yeah, we got that too.
I'm here so I won't get fined.
You know, he's also got one of the greatest nicknames, Beast Mode.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of great nicknames in NFL or football. Beast Mode, gotta be one of the premier of all time.
So, this is an interview where he's talking about running to a motherfucking face.
Exactly. Which is what he did for a living.
Yeah. And he was good at it.
Face. A lot of people ain't gonna be able to take that over and 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 over again.
That wasn't
You're just
cut.
not gonna want that.
There's a deeper metaphor there.
Run through a motherfucker face. Then you don't have to worry about it no more.
And there is no
Right.
truer statement
Right.
than that. you
Yeah.
know?
And when you brought that up, that reminded me of Deacon Jones, who was
Now this is going to open a little bit of a discussion.
this will definitely open up a discussion. And I think we have to take in context the time in which he said this, because it
What?
sounds a lot worse today, but I think I can defend why he said it.
What year was this?
I think mid-70s.
Yeah.
75 would be a good guess.
Yeah. The Deacon
Okay,
Jones head
Deacon
slap.
Jones head slap.
The head slap was to do two purposes. One was to give myself an initial head start on the pass rush. In other words, an extra step. Because anytime you go upside a man's head or a woman, then they have a tendency to blink their eyes or close their eyes, and that was all I needed.
David
Or a
Deacon
woman.
Jones was a defensive end whose head slap maneuver helped him intimidate offensive linemen to the point where he often encountered.
Okay, so Deacon Jones, right?
Line man or a line woman.
Well, let's unpack that for a minute. He said, anytime you go upside a man's head
Or
or
a
a woman's, like,
Politically
why,
correct.
why did he say that? And I think it was because at the time, if you can remember, like back in the, I'd say mid to late 70s,
Yeah.
like anytime you would say something about what you could do, what a man could do, you would be put back in your face.
Or a woman.
Or a woman.
Or a woman.
Or a woman. I remember that. Like,
Yeah.
and people would say, or a woman, and I
Like-
think that's why he said that.
Like 1976.
I would like to think
76.
Deacon Jones didn't go upside any woman's head. I
was saying,
don't know.
Maybe his
I don't know.
girlfriend, wife, and sister, mother may have a different story.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
But that piece of film, that piece of tape, that anytime you go over upside a man's head or a woman's, was on NFL documentaries for years after that. I bet it's done now.
Oh yeah.
I bet from here on out you're not going to see that, right?
Now, Ray Rice
Right.
ain't gonna be able to say that.
No.
You know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I saw that elevator footage.
Right. You know, he's not gonna be like,
I mean,
every time I go upside a man's head or a woman.
I'm saying most men that would take that left hook he laid on her would end up half retarded.
Oh yeah.
Like that was not a slap. That was a knockout punch, like a la Mike Tyson in his heydays.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I love how, well, I don't love how he did anything, I'm not gonna say it. I love the audacity that he tried to, you know, portray that wasn't what happened. You know, oh no, she is slipped.
Yeah.
She was drunk.
Apparently he didn't know there was footage inside the elevator.
Right, yeah. And like there's no cameras around.
I really feel like I'm speaking, I really don't know. I'm pretty sure the NFL, his team, I bet everybody had seen that footage and they were hoping it wouldn't get out.
Oh yeah.
And then it got out. Because in the NFL, it really is the great equalizer. It's like, if you're Marshawn Lynch and you can run the ball straight through people, you're going to get a job.
Yeah.
As long as, well, in this day and age.
As long as your name ain't Kaepernick.
Right.
I mean, Mike Vick can fight a dog. Hey, he can go to prison for however long. I mean, you know.
Well, I've already stated on this podcast before that I don't know a lot about football, but is Colin Kaepernick really that good? I don't know. I think he's good enough to at least have a backup job in the NFL. I think he was held out because of the kneeling thing. And that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But he also, I think he got paid $60 million by the NFL because Mark Garagos got in that.
Yeah.
So I think he got paid more than he would have if he would have played.
Oh yeah.
I still think it's a bad deal. I think shit like that shouldn't happen.
You know, Cam Newton is a former league MVP, and I think he's playing this year for $1 million.
I would fight my dog
In New
against
England?
Cam.
Yeah.
He's playing for $1 million in New England?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right.
Well, exactly. That's the way the NFL.
What if, and again, I'll restate it, I don't know a lot about football. Can New England end up playing Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl? Could that work?
I think they're in the same.
AFC, NFC, I don't know.
I think they're in the same.
But how cool would that be?
But they could face each other in the playoffs.
That would be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah. If you had to guess, Bill Belichick and Cam Newton against who the fuck is Tampa Bay's coach? I don't know. And Tom Brady.
I'm not sure who their coach is, but you also got to figure Gronk went there too.
Gronk's there, yeah.
Yeah. And so
And let's
just
face
Tom
it,
Brady and Gronk.
Tom Brady and Gronk can move the football.
Yeah. And Tampa Bay's a good young team. I mean, I think they'll do good things if we even have an NFL season this year.
If we even have one. All right, should we go out on that?
Let's do it.
All right.
And remember, watch out for Modelo because I think they're the ones that put out the coronavirus.
Mexican beers, they're suspect.
See, cervezas. Peace out.